Hello and welcome. My name is Olga. I'm a relationships coach and advanced fast safety practitioner. Today in our blog and video, we talk about how to get along with people in your home right now. So I'm going to start by acknowledging the pink elephant in the room and talk about the isolation and the quarantine and how to handle the situation of being stuck and spending a lot of time in the same space, very often a small space, and how to not only, survive these circumstances, but thrive in it. Now, I'm broadcasting to you from Houston, Texas, and I am, staying home with two of my kids. They are 6 and 9, and my husband, who is working part-time, he still goes into the office once or twice a week. But most of the time, we are here all together, crammed here in this condominium. And if you're like me and you have people in your house that you are learning how to navigate this time with, join in. It's going to be a great video, and I want to share a few things that I think you'll find very helpful. Now, if you are in a household where things been tense before the quarantine, I can imagine things probably are getting worse. And if you are paying attention to the news, then there is talk that in China, the amount of divorces skyrocketed since the isolation began. And so what's happening eventually right now is that all the patterns that have been sitting there anyways, they coming out and they becoming more apparent. And so in the families that were doing good, they very often getting stronger, they're getting closer together. So I'm noticing with me and Ernie, for the most part, we actually get along really well. I feel like I'm stuck on an island with a best friend and somebody who is very supportive and emotionally stable. And so overall things are not bad, but I'm sending so much love and compassion and best thoughts to those of you who are less fortunate and you stuck with people that you don't want to be spending a lot of time with. And so that's exactly why I made this video, to help you get through this time. So the first thing that I want you to imagine or think about is, where would you be 3 months from now, right? Or even 6 months from now. So I want you for just a second to step into a future you and look back at these circumstances with a sense of gratitude, with a sense of admiration, with a sense of, a good sense of pride. And what I mean by that is that once you are out of the woods and things are much better in your life, when you look back, how do you want to feel about it, right? And so be that woman that you want to be and step into this right now and make decisions from that place. Now, I had a similar experience in the past when I was in a very difficult place and I was stuck with somebody I didn't want to be stuck with in a very close quarters. And some really interesting things came out of this experience. So I'll give you a bit more details. It had to do with my daughter's cancer. She was diagnosed with leukemia in 2015. And so at that time, me and my ex-husband, we were stuck in the hospital, with her, trying to help her get through this. But what I noticed myself catering to is to both him and her. So I didn't feel like I'm in a relationship with adult or somebody who can support me through this difficult time, but quite the opposite. A lot of his colors and a lot of his tendencies that were kind of bowling on the back when things were okay came out. So in that time when, my daughter was going through cancer, I actually became very, very clear on what's next for me. And I want you to start looking at this time, at the time of crisis, at the time of pandemic, from that angle, right? Because it always gives us a bigger perspective. It's kind of like pulls you out of the picture and you have this 10,000 feet view of your life and what you really want. Because I remember at that time, Vicky was in the hospital and I was looking at my husband and some things that he'd done. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so out of this marriage once she feels better, right? And so for me, it was a really interesting experience. And I know it's a horrible thing to say, but I'm always grateful for that experience, because if not for her cancer, I wouldn't get so much clarity of what I really want and what I really don't want. And I wouldn't see him for who he is that clearly and that obviously as I did in that moment. So maybe you experience something similar right now and you're with a partner or a spouse that you're starting to realize, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm ready to take things for the face value. And obviously this is not the time to file divorce. And that's what happened with me. So I've made the decision to actually divorce him back in September, but I didn't have a conversation with him until February. And so I took this time from September to February to really heal myself and to really heal my story. So when I had the conversation with him, I was in a place of peace, I was in a place of gratitude, and I talk to him and I look at him through the eyes of God and through the eyes of gratitude. And so notice what's coming up from you as you step into this future you, this powerful, happy, inspired woman that looked back at this time and he said, that gave me clarity. That gave me something that I needed to see, right, in my life. So you can make the decision from the empowered place of you. And you know, of course, whomever is in your house right now, they are only responsible for their part of the journey, right? In any relationship, there's two parts, you're only responsible for yours. So what is your part of the journey? What are you bringing in? How are you showing up in this relationship that resonates so well that you are stuck together on the law of attraction level? Because as you change within, your relationship transform. So use this opportunity to kind of go through this place with as much time, as much gratitude and as much peace as possible. And tapping is an amazing tool to actually help you with this because it brings you back into the present. It grounds your nervous system. It helps you feel more peaceful and at the place where you can make better decisions, right? So please do use tapping. Second thing I want to talk to you about is find your sanctuary, right? So no matter how small your home is or your apartment is, find a place and time that is your sanctuary to get grounded, to connect with yourself, to connect with God. And so for me, it's my morning pages. So every morning I sit down and I write, you know, sometimes it's just a little bit, sometimes it's a couple of pages of just pure stream of consciousness, right? So just peel it out on the paper. Sometimes it's a nap time during the day. So I said, for 1 hour, nobody bother me, kids go to the room, mom go to the room. So 1 hour is a quiet time. So it's just me and me. I do whatever I want to do. If I want to read a book, I read a book. If I want to scroll through Facebook, I do this, but it's uninterrupted time. Another option is in the evening, if you want to take a bubble bath, or if you want to say, you know what, I'm just going to go to my room and do some crafts. Have some time for yourself where you can process, because many of us are in a place right now of serving. So you probably cook more, you probably take care of the kids more. If your husband around, you take care of him more. So find the sanctuary, both time and space that you can set aside for yourself to nourish yourself. And so you can, again, get through this time with more ease. The last thing that I want you to talk to you about is daily rituals. And here's the truth, guys, I really struggle with that. I'm not good with daily rituals. It's something that I need to develop and something I need to pay a lot of attention to. But once they are in place, they're actually very helpful because you don't have to think about it and they do set you up for a better days. So one thing that we started doing right now, and I shared with one of my videos, is we are sitting down all together, and in the morning we are either watching a short presentation by the pastor from our church and we do a prayer together, or we do a quick round of tapping, or this morning we just did like 7-minute meditation on starting the day, right? And so it's the four of us, it's me, my husband, and the kids. And they actually go along, they sit down and they meditate and they, you know, enjoy it as much as they can. And then we'll go around and we'll share one thing we'll be grateful for, right? And it's a really nice, spacious way to start the day. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time. It took us like 10 minutes literally, but it's a really, really wonderful way to both connect and also set a good intention and set a good intention for a day. So I hope you find this helpful, guys. And of course, you know, I want to encourage you to tap. Tapping is a wonderful tool to get grounded, to get peaceful, to make better decisions, to release stress, and to calm your nervous system. If you have any questions or you'd like some help with tapping, please reach out. I'll be more than happy to help out. For now, that'd be all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week.